unforgettable. That's what you are.
If you wanted to hear romance, this guy could really put it out.
Unforgettable.
Close your eyes, listen to it all night long. It would just take you into another world.
Though near or far.
He was such a smoothie. Without him, there would have been no Ray Charles, no Sam Cooke, or Marvin Gaye.
Like a song of love that clings to me. How the thought of you does things to me.
Nat King Cole started out as the piano-playing leader of a jazz trio.
One of the best piano players I've ever heard in my life. Nat had a drive when he played piano that was unbelievable. And we used to burn the stage.
When I got to Capitol, we included one vocal in an album that he did. And it was so marvelous that we said, Nat, you should be a singer. He said, oh, I'm not a singer. I don't want to do that. We had to talk him into it.
I'm just a shy guy. My, afraid to try, guy. No lie, there's a girl that I'd like.
When he was 27, he met the woman who would change his life.
He took me to a horse race, and it's the first time I'd ever gambled on one, and I won on a gray falcon. That was fun, and that's really how it started.
One problem. He was already married to a woman 9 years his senior.
I remember I was eating a lamb chop in a Chinese restaurant, and he said, if I can get my divorce, will you marry me? Those were his exact words. And I did this.
When I fall in love, it will be forever, or I'll never fall in love.
Once he married Maria in 1948, Nat's career as a balladeer flourished.
I don't think it was coincidental. I think a lot of it was me. Nat, when we were alone, listened to me. And he did do quite a few ballads because I suggested them.
She was the driving force for Nat Cole. We kind of resented it because the more ballads he sang, the less we got to do the swing things.
If you ever plan to motor west, travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66.
He was so delightful to listen to, show after show after show, month after month after year. Never got tired of listening to Nat sing.
Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, men have named you. You're so like the lady with the mystic smile.
Success led to a house in the plush LA suburbs, but their white neighbors made them feel less than welcome.
Tonight, home could never be complete without a dog, especially a thoroughbred like this one. Hey, don't play so rough.
The only thing I remember terribly is they poisoned my dog. Oh, our boxer, and that just killed me. I remember going in the basement once, and somehow someone had worked there, and on the back of the steps written nigger. And we had the hardest time getting that off.
If racism was bad at home, it was even worse on the road. Nat was forced to abandon a show in Alabama after he was attacked on stage. His diplomatic reaction didn't please the radicals.
Do you expect any more trouble?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I think this is one out of a million. I don't think this is a thing where it would turn out to be a continuous thing.
Nat was a performer. Nat was not he wasn't an activist.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the attack made him a national celebrity.
The incomparable Nat King Cole.
He became the first black man to present his own TV series.
We weren't doing just an entertainment show. We were doing a sociological show, and this was a sociological revolution.
I'm sure everyone who appears on television receives a certain amount of mail.
What is that Negro doing on television?
But I don't know if everyone is favored with the wonderful sort of correspondence you have been kind enough to send to me.
It was vitriolic, sick.
Your response has been unforgettable.
All shows needed sponsors to survive, and Nat had trouble getting them.
It wasn't a question they had trouble getting sponsors, they just could not get sponsors. It was that simple.
Let there be you. Let there be me.
Nat would say, well, Madison Avenue was afraid of the dark.
Max Factor making the statement a black person couldn't sell lipstick for him. This was true, and you know, these things were, you know, they're enough to make you decide, oh well, what's the use?
But most of all, please let there be love.
Nat quit the show within 2 years, but there was one thing he couldn't give up.
You know how you get out of the bed, and we all, when we get out of the bed, the first thing we usually do is go to the John. The first thing my husband did was light a cigarette and then go to the John.
In the early 50s, nobody mentioned cigarettes being dangerous.
Nat died of lung cancer in 1965, aged just 45.
I think when you have had what you felt was a pretty great love in your life, you miss it more when you get older.
I miss him not being there all the time. I miss him not being in the world all the time.
So dream when the day is through.
This is all I want people to remember. This man's wonderful, unusual voice. And what he stood for, basically, as a human being.